Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fast Money Football here on the Parlay. I'm your host, Albert Vartanian, and my partner in crime today is the one and only Sara Poraria. She's been with me throughout the midweek, and we've had tons of midweek fixtures: FA Cup, Copa Del Rey, Copa Italia, La Liga, Premier League, and it continues today on this beautiful Thursday. And we have two very big domestic cup matches starting in England. Everton at home taking on Boreham, 78 places below Everton on the league ladder. If there's ever been a David versus Goliath, this is it. And then we're also looking at the second leg of the Copa Del Rey final between Real Betis and Raya Vallecano. So a big game there, but let's begin with Everton against Boreham. Everton minus 850, Boreham plus 2100. They've been the surprise package of this FA Cup, the Cinderella story. They're going to hope that it continues, but they're in tough. Going to Goodison Park in front of, 39,000 fans? They average, Sarah, under 1,000 fans per game, sometimes around 400 to 500. So this is a massive fixture for them. Can they go out there and win the game? It's a big stretch, but how do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can all agree that Everton are heavy favorites, but if we also look at their form in their last, 10 home games, I think they have 3 wins. We were just talking about all the injuries they have. No Van de Beek, no Dele Alli, no El
Mm-hmm.
Ghazi, Calvert-Lewin, Yerry Mina, Delph, there's more even to that list. But just to give, the people an idea, Everton are definitely missing a lot of their squad. That being said, they should absolutely be winning this game. Like you said, they're 78 places above
Spots, yeah.
Boreham. So, I mean, it should be a routine win. I do expect, a bit of fight from Boreham. This is going to be a huge game for them. But Everton absolutely should win this game.
Yeah, let's go through some of the absentees. You mentioned them already, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the striker for Everton, he's out with an abductor injury. Apparently, he's going to be ready to go on Monday against Spurs in the Premier League. Dele Alli, Donny van de Beek, and Anwar El Ghazi, who just came in January to Everton, are all cup tied because they've already played in the competition for previous clubs. And that's a big loss because you lose a lot of that creativity in the midfield against a team that's probably going to sit back. So, I mean, we can expect to see a heavily rotated side. And I think the Premier League at the moment, Sarah, for Everton, has to be the priority. They're only a point above the relegation zone, 1 point above Burnley, and they face Spurs on Monday. I think all eggs need to be in that Premier League basket. So I want to ask you this. If you're Frank Lampard, taking all that in, considering all of that, considering how much trouble that you're in the Premier League, how do you approach this game?
Well, I think, like you said, like the Premier League should be the main goal. And I think if I was Frank Lampard, I would also instill that mentality into them. I'd say, listen, we're gonna give it a good go. Give it everything you got. But at the same time, if I'm him and I feel like I need to rest, a certain player because I'd rather have them show up for the Monday game against the Spurs, then I would do that. Because yeah, like I said, the FA Cup, of course it's a trophy and stuff, but would you rather win an FA Cup and get knocked into the championship, or would you rather, not win and stay in the PL? To me, it's very obvious. I don't think you throw this game away, but I think you definitely prioritize Monday's game.
And they have the ability to rotate the 11 and still probably have a stronger squad and better quality than Boreham. Like we keep mentioning, 78 spots below them in the National League. It is a massive jump. Let's talk about Boreham for a little bit. They beat Eastleigh at the weekend 1-0. They're fourth in the National Leagues. That's a priority for them as well. They're trying to push to get promotion into the next stage. So I think this game, as big as it is, they'll also have one eye on league play as well. They have the best record in the National League. And their manager actually came out and he was talking about how they're going to approach this game. And he goes, in the National League, when we counter with 4, 5, or even 6 players. He's like, against Everton, we're going to try and maintain our shape. And if we do get a chance to counter, we're only going to be setting up maybe 2 or 3 players. So I think what we can expect is heavy possession on the Everton side, Boreham to sit back and hopefully nick a goal. I think they would be gladly happy to go to penalties against Everton. And that's kind of how I expect this match to play out. It's going to be difficult for them, Sarah, to really keep Everton at bay. I do see goals here, but I'm not agreeing with the bookies. I don't see a blowout.
Yeah, no, I think we talked about this just off air now, but I completely agree. I don't think you can expect really much with these kind of tournaments, like what we've seen with the FA Cup so far. I mean, even look at yesterday, Luton Town got 2 on Chelsea, like, good on
Yeah,
them.
there you go.
So, and we've seen Borough go through Spurs and United. Like, it's with competitions like this where it's based on 1 or 2 legs, you really have to, take that into account, because I think if a team is just having a bad day, you could see a team like Spurs getting knocked out. No one expected that. They just weren't having a good day for football, and it happened, right? So I don't know. I think the confidence that the bookies have right now with Everton is a little strange, but yeah, like I said, I think Everton will still win, but it'll be a tough match.
I'm always concerned with teams that heavily rotate in these cup competitions. I understand why, but it kind of throws off the balance. It throws off the chemistry. Players who haven't been playing with each other for a long time get in there. The chemistry is a little off. They need a little bit of time to, communicate and connect on the pitch. And I think that's where mistakes can happen. And maybe Bournemouth can capitalize on something like that. But with that said, I think everybody would love a cup set, especially a big one like this from a National League side at 21-1 to win the game to go through. But I do expect Everton to win. If you want to look at some of the markets to attack, I mean, Bournemouth, if you want to go that way, draw no bet plus 1,400. That means if they draw within 90 minutes and they go into extra time, you get your money back. If they somehow win, you win a heap load of money. For Everton, here are a couple to think about. Everton to win by 3 or more is plus 105. Everton win plus both teams to score plus 235. But Sarah, you like Everton and the under 3.5 at even money.
Yeah. I think it's just you know what? It's unfortunate with these FA Cups. I'm starting to change my betting just to go safe, because I think there's no certainty right now. So I mean, like I told you before, I was like, you know what? If you're feeling crazy, put some money on Boreham, sorry. Just $5-10, because if they win, your return's gonna be great.
Yeah, you might as well sprinkle a little bit if you're hoping for a cup set. I don't really like betting on these cup games because they're so
Mhm.
unpredictable. So I'm staying away from the winners market, even though I do expect Everton to win. I'm with you. I'm going with the under. Under 3 goals plus 105, I think is a pretty decent bet. But let's hope for a cup set. Just why not? Let's get the Cinderella story to keep going. Middlesbrough, Bournemouth heading into the next round of the FA Cup. Let's move on to the Copa del Rey semi-final. Second leg, Real Betis, Rayo Vallecano. Betis minus 145, Allecano plus 390. Real Betis won the first game 2-1. Sarah, Betis has kind of been on a pretty good run since winning that first leg. They beat Levante and Mallorca in the league. They bounced out Zenit St. Petersburg over 2 legs in the Europa League. Okay, they lost at the weekend to Sevilla, but that's 4 wins and 6. 2 losses in their last 13. What's been
Mhm.
the recipe for success here for Manuel Pellegrini?
Yeah, Pellegrini really seems to understand the side well. Betis have always been a competitive, team in that liga, especially in the last, decade or so. Their squad is really unbelievable. They have solid players. And I think it's just a matter of the coach kind of understanding what these players need, how to kind of get them to work with one another. Like, it's not been a lack of players, but I think Pellegrini has really just meshed with this team so well, and it's exciting because they're such a fun team to watch. And the fact that they're in third place right now in La Liga, 1 point above Barcelona. Like you said, they just knocked out Zenit in the Europa, so they've
Mm.
got that confirmed. And I think the loss to Sevilla, that's a derby, that's always going to be tough, but at the same time they knew that they had this Copa del Rey game coming up, so I think that was a factor as well. But yeah, I don't know, I've really enjoyed seeing this team like do well.
And they were also missing Juan Mi in that matchup, who has a chance to return for this one. Their top scorer, how much of a boost is that for them?
That's huge. When I saw that Wami is going to be back, it's such a boost. They have a few injuries, but I don't think as severe as missing Wanmi. So with him being back, I think it's going to really have their kind of full starting 11 that they would usually start. And yeah, I expect Betis to come out of this game winning.
Yeah, win or draw would send them through to the final to play Valencia. And the finals in Sevilla, that
Yeah.
has to be some sort of a boost for this team. They have to have one eye on that saying, and we can play in our hometown.
Yeah, no, it would be unreal for them. I mean, it's always nice when you see these competitions where the final, you know, the final is already determined in a city, and then the team that is home there ends up
Yeah.
getting there. There's something so, I don't know, like romantic about that whole thing. So I'm with you. And also Valencia and Betis is such a wonderful game to think about happening. So I'm hoping for that as well.
All right, let's talk about the other side. Vallecano lost 1-0 to Real Madrid at the weekend. They're 12th in La Liga. They're losing a lot of games at the moment. Lack of scoring seems to be the issue there. What do they need to do here to overturn this deficit? Because we're going to expect them to come out and try and get that early goal quickly. But I think it's going to be a problem at the back. They're going to leave themselves exposed, and they've been leaking goals as late.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of they're having trouble scoring, like you said. Like they have lost 5 games in all competitions. Their last 5, they're not able to put one past. And you see a result like 1-0 against Real Madrid. You think, okay, that's not bad. It's Real Madrid, but if you can't score the goals, then you're obviously not going to win any games, because you have to either bounce back or you're just going to sit in draws. And I don't know. I don't know what has happened to this team, because at the start of the season, Raya was doing amazing. They were in the top of the table. They were, like giving everyone a run for their money, but they slowly started plummeting. And like you said, they're in 12th now. Like they really have fallen apart. So I don't know if it's maybe a managerial issue, but it seems like, the strikers are not doing what strikers can do.
Speaking of strikers, in case you didn't know, Radamel Falcao plays for Vallecano. He signed in September 2021. He wears the number 3, which I questioned at first. I'm like, why is a striker wearing number 3? That's a defender's number, but he's honoring his father, who was a defender, so he gets a pass on that. This is not like William Gallas wearing number 10 as a center back for Arsenal. I always hated that, but we can talk about that. We'll do an episode one day of the worst numbers ever by strikers and defenders, because there's been some bad ones. 5 goals this season, but he's dried up because 3 of those goals came in the first 3 appearances. He scored a big goal against Barcelona, which basically led to Ronald Koeman being sacked. He also scored against Real Madrid, so he seems to score in big games. Could this be another one for him?
I mean, I would love to see him score, because he's one of the older guys, but he has such a history. Everyone knows who Falcao is. But as of late, they've been bringing him on as a second half sub, which kind of makes a lot of sense with his age. But maybe we could see him come on 60th, 70th minute to save the day. Could be something that happens, but I wouldn't expect Falcao to start. But I do expect him to come on at some point in the second half.
Maybe a little sprinkle on Falcao to score a big goal in the second half. We'll look up those odds. But first, you like both teams to score and the home team here.
Yeah, I think Betis at the Benito Villamarin is, it's the only way to go here. Betis fans are insane. They've been known to destroy the stadium chairs of the fan seats. They are wild. They are passionate people, and I think that's going to be so big for Betis. But Betis, like we said, they're already up 2-1 on the aggregate. They already have a leg up. So I'm taking them. And both teams to score though here, because I think Raya can get 1 or 2.
Update: Radamel Falcao to score anytime, plus 155, which is not that great. Yeah. Like, what is that? He doesn't play. He's probably going to come on as a sub. He hasn't scored in 10 plus games. I mean, you could tell the public's like, hey, Falcao, let me sprinkle.
Yeah, exactly.
He might. I mean, if he comes on the second half and you can still see that anytime goal scorer live board, if the odds, I mean, they need to be worth your while, at least 3-1. I mean, you're not laying plus 155 for a guy who's going to play, 25 minutes, maybe?
Exactly. Interesting.
Okay, so I'm going to tail you actually on that bet. I love Real Betis here, minus 145, but to juice it up, both teams to score plus 240. I mean, we've talked about it. Vallecano has to come out. They have to try and score. They're going to leave themselves exposed at the back. I see goals both ways. Probably a 2-1, maybe a 3-1, maybe even a 3-2. Hopefully it's an exciting game. But I'm with you. Plus 240, really good value. Okay, so let's recap the picks quickly. Sara, for the first game, the FA Cup matchup between Everton and Boreham, she likes Everton plus under 3.5 at plus 100. And I'm going to go with just the under. I'm staying away from the winner's market, even though I really like that bet. Under 3 plus 105. It doesn't have the half. So if it ends at 3, you get your money back. It's a push. For the Copa del Rey semifinal matchup, Sara, Real Betis, plus both teams to score, plus 240. Fantastic value. I'm all over that. I'm with you. If you want to just make a single bet, I would probably lean towards Real Betis at minus 145. Okay, that's it for us. That's it for Fast Money Football. For Sara Poraria, make sure you follow her, guys, at Sara Poraria on Twitter. You can follow me at the Real Bert V on Twitter as well. And make sure you follow the Parlay at the Parlay. And please head over to parlay.tv for more content.